All right, welcome back. So I've noticed a bug in Lightwave. This is Lightwave 2018.05. So the bug goes like this. If I have two objects like this, one has morphs and the other one doesn't, if I hit the properties panel and activate the morphs on this one by opening Morph Mixer, if I then go to another item and add Morph Mixer as well, I'm going to get some morphs on this item as well. So that's pretty weird. So this is obviously a bug on Lightwave's part. But nonetheless, we continue with our plugin. Okay, so if we go back to master plugin here, Motion Mixer 2. All right, so what we need now is for the list to show up here once I click something here. Now the process for doing this is almost exactly as the process for populating this from one text. So like I said previously, if when we go to the options here, this list of functions that I created here, the LB event runs every time a user clicks something on the particular list box. So let's begin with LB event here. Let me go down here where there's LB event. I want this to give me information every time I click something so that we can see that in action. So let me remove this. And every time I click, I get selected, even though there's no items in here, as you can see. If I add some items, same thing, I get selected. Now what I want instead, I want the word that I have selected to be highlighted here. So let's go ahead and do something about that. So this items here is an array that is submitted, which contains the list, because I can multi-select here. I can select 2 or 3 items on this thing. So this variable will contain the list of those items. So if, for example, I've selected 3 items here, the length of this variable is going to be 3. So for example, items 1 will contain the first selected item. However, it won't contain the name of the item or the text in that item, but the index. So for example, if I have eyes selected here, I'm going to get, this is 1, 2, 3, this is the third item, so I'm going to get number 3 as the result. If I select multiple things, I'm going to get several numbers, like let's say number 3 is selected, number 4, and number 5. So I need to convert those into actual words or actual content. Now remember that all these items in here are coming from an array. Which one? This array called LB items. Where is that? This one. This is the one that contains all the items that we want. So all we need to do is get those indices and check what they correspond to in this particular variable. So to do that, let's grab items. So I'm just going to say index. I'm going to create a variable called index, and then I'm going to say it's equal to items, the first selected item in this list box will be that number. So this will contain a number, and then all I need to do is just say LB items and put the index there, and it's going to give me the selected item, whatever that item is. So let's try that and put it in here so we can see it in action. And one more thing we should do is to make sure that when there's nothing selected, we don't run this thing at all. So we say if not items, if there's nothing in there, just return and don't do anything. Okay. However, if there's something there, continue, assign that one index, and then show me what it corresponds to in the array. So let me remove that and add this back. So when I do this, and now I get the name of the item, so which is pretty cool. Okay, so now I can use that name to search through the graph editor here and to find specifically the name, what channel group name I'm looking for. And once I find it, then I just need to read what's inside it. Okay, so in order to do that, the function is almost the same as this one for searching for channel groups because it's looking in the same exact place. But we need to create another function to name this. So here, instead of just giving us the name, let's create a function called show morphs, and then I'll put the name of the channel group in there. So since this show morphs is not really a function that's created, let's create it. Now I like to leave these things as the last thing, so I'll put the new function in the middle here, and then it's going to get channel group name. So channel group name is what we are passing into it. So now that we have a channel group name, all we have to do is go through all the channel groups and check if that's the one we are looking for. So that code for doing that is pretty much this part here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it there. All the channel groups here, but instead, because we don't want to eliminate what's in LB items, we'll put an M there because what we are targeting is this other variable here that is responsible for this other list box. Okay, so we empty it before we fill it up with items. And then we need to give object, because right now object means nothing. Usually it comes from here, but since it's not here, we have to check what item is selected. So we'll say check selected item. So we'll say object is equal to scene.firstSelect. Okay, now if there's nothing in object, if not object, return, so that we don't run all this if there's nothing selected. If it is, let's do this. Okay, and now once we put this, we remove everything inside there. So I have to change this also to M items. Now what we need to do is go through, since here we are looping through all the channel groups, we have to keep checking to see if that's the channel group that we are looking for. So let's use an if statement here and say if my channel group dot name is equal to, so if it's equal to this that we've been given, then that's the one that we want. Okay, so let's put this inside there. So if it's not the one, we loop again until we find it. So once we find it, there's a keyword called break. Once it goes through this, it means we found the channel group we want, so there's no need to keep looping, so we're going to break right there. And then what we're going to add is not the channel group name, but my channel group name there. So what we do is this, if it's the one we want, let me come back to the graph editor. So if it's the one we want, which is this one, let's loop through it and get all the items in there. Okay, so we need another loop because there's more than one item. So I'm going to say while, first of all, actually, before we do the while, we're going to say my chan, because this is a channel now. So this is a channel group, the eyes, and these inside are channels. So my chan, you can name it anything you want, this is just a variable, is equal to, let's get this channel group right here, my channel group dot first channel. So we want to get all the channels in here. So let's get the first channel first, like so. All right, so while my channel has something, loop through it. And then to avoid looping forever, we have to get the next channel the next time we loop. So we change my channel to the next channel. So when we run out of all channels, this is going to be equal to nil because there won't be a next channel to find anymore. And then this while will return a false. So once all the channels run out, this will stop looping. So while it loops, update this list of items with actually my channel group.first channel. Okay, that's correct. So we update it with my chan.name. Whatever the channel name is, put it there. Okay, so let's recap a little bit. So here we are going through the channels one by one using the while loop, and then we reset whatever items are in there, and then we check, is this the channel group we want? If it is, let's get the first channel in there and then go through all the channels and add them to the list. And then we're going to break, since there's no need to look, we already found the channel group that we're looking for, and then we refresh the view, or we update the requester. So let's see if that's gonna work as predicted. So let me remove this, and there we go. So let me click there, and works like a charm. Okay, there we go. So everything is functioning now. So all I need now is to select this and then be able to update it there.